Well, here's the newest member of the Smart Lawns team. This is the FJDynamics RM21 Combo. The machine's powerful with a 48-volt battery system and a 25-inch solid steel blade, so very different to some of the other robot mowers that we're using. And its other key difference is the machine can be used for mowing but can also be used for line marking. So I've just set him up with his first area and I'm going to send him out to cut it. So let's see how he does. So he's leaving his docking station now. And he'll follow a path through to the area that he's going to mow. And this is a path that I programmed in using the remote control that comes with the robot. I'll show you a bit about that shortly. So while he's making his way there, let's go and have a look at the area that he's going to be mowing. So today I've got him mowing quite a large section of this area here. And he should be making his way over to us now. Comes. So right over there in the distance you can see the RM21 just doing his first perimeter cut. So we'll walk over and take a look. He's going to mow around the perimeter twice and then he'll start doing his normal mowing. So when the RM21 starts cutting an area, first thing he does is cut twice around the perimeter. So he's just doing his first cut now. Now I can control him from the phone. I can control his speed and his height of cut, as well as other settings. And I can also control him from the remote control that came with him, and also from a screen which is in the back of the machine. So we'll let him get a couple of laps done, and then we'll have a look at what sort of finish we're getting on. Well, it's not a great day for mowing grass today. It's about 4 degrees and the ground's very wet, so it's a pretty challenging task for him today. So this is the remote control that comes with the robot, and this is the tool that you use for mapping the areas, whether you're mowing or line marking. And actually you can see here that there's a live display showing the robot's progress around the garden. And if you look over there in the distance, there he is in the top corner. You can see here he's nearly 15% of the way through the area. He's currently set at 5 centimeters, and he's cutting in what we call eco mode. There's 3 different modes of speed that you can use. So he's done 15% of that area in 10 minutes. Now the high power brushless motor that's driving that 25-inch solid steel blade in the RM21 is helping it to cope with what is some quite heavy leaf cover, which it's mulching up beautifully, despite cutting at 5 kilometers an hour. So actually they're flying along. Really hear the motor knuckling in there. Now you'll notice that he appears to have missed a cut, but that's something called smart U-turn, and you'll see the effect of that a little bit later as he goes through and progresses with the cutting task. So the smart U-turn feature means that when the robot turns at the end of each stripe, it leaves enough space for another 2 cuts in the same direction. So you end up with what we would call a block cut, and therefore a wider stripe than just the width of the robot. It's not the best day to see the effect of it here today, but let's have a look when the job's done. So we've just watched him go for the first time, cutting away from me. Now he's turned at the other end of the area, and this is his first cut, cutting towards me. He's going to turn to the right again. Back up this line, overlapping his previous cut. So now he's done 2 cuts going away from me, and as you can see, he's left another strip of uncut grass. So when he turns again at the top and then comes back down here, he'll do a 3rd cut, cutting away from me. Let's see him turn to the right again and get that final bit of uncut grass. Go. Now we're just starting to see the telltale dark and light lines of the mowing strips. So each stripe is around about 8 foot wide. So now he's completed the block of cuts. Going away from me, now he's going to turn left. Leave some area uncut and start a new block. top of the machine is a LiDAR system which recognised that I was in the way and stopped the machine. So if I just move out of the way, the machine will fire up and start mowing again. Using the phone app, I've now adjusted the mowing speed to 6 kilometers an hour. Motoring along. You can also adjust the height of cut and various other settings and stop the machine and start it again. Now, the RM21 Combo is an RTK autonomous robot. So what that means is it's got a reference station. In this particular setup, a reference station that's based on sight, that emits correction information directly to the robot using radio waves. Now, that reference station isn't in line of sight of the robot. It's on the other side of these big woods, probably about 300 meters away. And then it's also got a GPS antennae on the robot itself. By having its position corrected constantly through communication with the reference station, this is how you end up with centimetre level accuracy. And of course, centimetre level accuracy is very important, particularly for line marking. You can set the machine up in a different format, where it logs on to a network of external reference stations, which could be useful in certain applications, and that's all standard with the machine. All you need to then have is a Wi-Fi connection or a 4G connection. So you can see the RM21's been happily mowing on this damp, cold day. It's got too cold for me, so I'm sending him home. So he's on a setting now so that he'll follow the boundary to make his way back to the charging base, which he's just doing now. So he's just coming along the boundary here, and I'll show you him going back into his charging base in a second. But he's done a lovely job on this wet day, and you can just about see the bands that the block cutting does, so those nice wide bands. Of course, if it was a slightly drier day, you'd be getting an even better finish. Here he comes. And now he's making his way along the transition path that we programmed in. Which will take him along the side of the driveway here. Back to his charging base. He's following exactly the path that I drove when I programmed in the transition path. Now here I've got the docking station out in the open, but actually with this robot that docking station could be inside a shed for security, because actually what the robot does is it uses a camera to detect the QR code on the panel behind the docking station. So it's just going to get itself nicely lined up now. And because if you have got it in a shed, it's quite likely to be dark. You'll see shortly, he'll turn his lights on. So we can see the QR code. Which he then follows nice and slowly and accurately up onto the dock to recharge, ready for his next mowing task or marking task. Go, safely docked.